Hello, my name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody who has something very kind or sweet to say to you. You may be surprised at who it is that has this kind thing to say, but when they say it to you, I do think that it puts you at ease, or it helps you to feel like things are going to be just fine, even though it might be a little bit chaotic right now. So we have somebody's words, or maybe it's a letter, maybe it's something that is said to you audibly, but it helps you to stay calm in a difficult situation, or it helps you to see things in a different way. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can, sorry, I don't know why I got off track there, but you can find my email address in the description box. It is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can also find a link to my Etsy page if you are interested in buying one of my candles, and also information on how to become a member. Hello, Hooks, how we doing? I feel like we need a little bit more light. So let's take care of that real quick. It's bright and early. Are you all having a good day so far? At least it's bright and early where I am. I can't necessarily assume that's true for all of you now, can I? All right, hopefully that helps. Hello again, Ronaldo. How's it going? All right, let's go with the Prisma Visions Tarot and see what else we've got for you. Four of Chalices, Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Hanged Man. So you have a sense of rejection or loss. If this reading is for you, there is something that is precipitating this conversation, right? Something that looks like a loss, a friendship that's ended, a relationship that is over, a person who has passed away. There is some suspension that's happening, or like a pause on life that encourages you to kind of take a look around and, you know, take stock of your life kind of thing. And I think you've got a close friend or someone who cares deeply for you that is, it's like they're putting their hand or their arm around you, right? Like, everything's gonna be all right. It's a little bit tough right now, but it's going to get better, right? Two of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Seven of Chalices or Seven of Cups, with the Eight of Wands in the reverse, Page of Wands, and Nine of Wands. So I'm seeing Robin Williams from, I think that was Good Will Hunting, where he says multiple times, it's not your fault, or it wasn't your fault. One of those two, I think multiple times over and over again, right? And that's what this feels like to me. Something that has been unspoken, or something that needed to have been said a while ago is finally communicated. It's those sweet words, right? Someone says it's not your fault, or you deserve better, or you did the right thing. And you see that sigh of relief because someone really needed to hear that. Those sweet words that are being said fit that description. It's what needs to be said for this individual to breathe that sigh of relief and feel like things are okay, or they're going to be okay. Hello, Ufida, how are you doing? I hope I said that all right. I'm sorry that you're going through that. Hello again, Ronnie. What's up? Rufida, I do personal questions after the general reading, with priority to those who tip or donate, unless I get cut off because I needed to call my family. That's why I came back so quickly. Hello, Missy. What's up? I hope you're having a good day. We've got the Page of Cups and the Gift. You're going to get a kind comment. You might get an actual gift, you know, a cute little bag with something sweet inside. Maybe it's chocolate, maybe it's an actual, I don't know, maybe it's a gift card. I think more than likely this is a reference to it's not your fault. A gift of a comment, right? Like that helps someone process a difficult event or memory. We have Death and Page of Swords in the reverse. It does feel to me like we're dealing with someone who has lost a person that they care about, or who lost someone they care about a while ago, and they're having a conversation about it with someone that they care for deeply, or who also cares about them deeply. Hello, Amaze, how are you doing? Hello, Theos. That's fair. Hello, Darnell, how are you doing? We have the Five of Cups in the reverse and Judgment. This conversation is helping someone let go of resentment, anger, or guilt tied to someone passing away. That's what it feels like to me. So, you know, you don't have to take responsibility for how things happen just because you weren't in town that day, or just because, you know, you left the hospital to go take a shower. I think there's a significant shift in how someone sees what has happened or what did happen to a person that they care about because of a conversation with another person that they care deeply about. Maybe a sibling talking about a parent, or about a spouse that passed away. But whoever is getting this conversation or these kind words said to them has been unfair to themselves, has ascribed unfair, like, bad decision energy to themselves. Like, that was my bad, I'm a horrible person, why did I do that? And now they're getting a sense of relief because someone is saying, no, you're being way too harsh on yourself. That's not fair. So no more blaming themselves for something. This is the Noisy Tarot. Hello, Shayna. How are you doing? Thank you, Rafina. Hello, Salvador. How you doing? What else do we have? A runaway card. Okay. There are a few of them. We have the Six of Wands, a Five of Wands, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Seven of Cups in the reverse. All right, so sometimes you can see written on someone's face the stress and anxiety they've been dealing with when they don't have someone that they can talk to about a difficult event or, you know, someone passing. And that's where this seems to have fallen. I don't know how to move forward, or I feel like I lost my best friend, or I feel like, everything happened so quickly. But there's clarity coming to, what am I calling you? I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to refer to this person as the Page of Cups, because there's this like innocence to this person. We could actually be talking about a younger individual, such as, somebody who's under the age of 18, trying to understand why their parent has passed away, which just like breaks my heart. My condolences to whoever this reading is for. But it could be more so referring to that kind of like childlike state that somebody feels when they go through this loss, which could indicate we're talking about the loss of a parent. But there's clarity here, I made the right decision, or, that person who passed away, they would have wanted it that way. You did it, you did it right. Maybe I didn't specify exactly how to handle things. For example, like a DNR. Maybe you had to just kind of figure it out, and maybe you had to say, no, we're not going to keep that person artificially alive, right? The do not resuscitate type thing. And that's how I would have decided it. That's how I would have wanted it. Like, you did it the right way. And yet you're over here feeling guilty about it. I think this King of Wands would be the person who passed away. And it's like, I want you to know that I don't feel like you are a bad person, or I don't feel like you were cruel to have made that decision. That's what I would have done anyways. That's how I would have written it down if I'd had the chance or the foresight to do that. Hello, Narnia. How are you doing? Ronnie, I'm sorry. I don't know which one you were referring to. Hello, Cap. I don't know how to respond to that other than listening should be still fairly helpful. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. The goal is a new lease on life. It's time to let go of that chapter. It's time to be honest with oneself about, the circumstance of the situation dictated how the outcome turned out, Like, I'm not mad at you for choosing that, or I'm not mad at you for making a difficult choice the way that you did. It seems like that's how they would have done it anyways. And yet we have, a spouse or a family relation to this King of Wands who seems to be a little bit unforgiving towards themselves. Empress in the reverse, Three of Pentacles in the reverse, Seven of Wands in the reverse. And this King of Wands, the person who has passed away, is angry about this or doesn't like this. Like, you're just making things worse by being mad at yourself over this, or you're making it more difficult than it needs to be by embracing that guilt or clinging to that like self-loathing. Empress in the reverse, you feel like you were not kind enough, or that you didn't do enough, that you didn't put in the work, or that you should have fought for something differently, or chosen a different path. And this King of Wands is like, enough already. Like, let it go. Knight of Swords in the reverse. You didn't have a lot of time to make a decision, or you did the best you could with the information that you had. I don't take it as like a personal insult, or I don't look at it as you did something wrong. So forgiveness from this King of Wands. Or maybe even a step further, like, I don't feel like I need to forgive you because you were just doing the best that you could. Like, that's what I would have done too. Hello, Kathy. How are you doing? Hello, H2W. If you're looking to install me, it might be a little bit difficult for you. But you're welcome to hang out in the live chat regardless. I might block you depending on if we get a little bit negative, but I hope you're having a good day. Hello, HP. How are you doing? That's okay, Graham, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We've got silence. Thanks for stopping by, as Lemonade would say. Peace and distance. Yeah, I think we have someone experiencing grief and loss. And for a while, I didn't know how to say what needed to be said, but now that I'm having this conversation, because it feels like two people who were related to this King of Wands, I think it's important to make sure that you know I respect how you handled things, or I appreciate what you were doing. I was in a different state. I was in a different country. I couldn't be there for that King of Wands the way that I would have liked to have been. That King of Wands does not need to be a man. I think the King of Wands is coming through because this is very, like, passionate. I have something that I need to say because this person keeps blaming themselves or is overly critical of themselves when they should not be. Hello, Mert. Hello, Nicole. How are you doing? You too. It happens. That's all right, Darnell. We've got conflict, stress, and healing. So I think whoever is saying the sweet words, having this conversation with the guilt-ridden individual, there had been arguments or separation between these two for a while. They're coming back around. They're communicating with a sibling or a cousin or an aunt, or maybe it's an ex-wife or an ex-husband, saying you really just need to be a little bit kinder to yourself about how you handled it. Even though it was stressful and everything moved really quickly, I think everybody else looks at it as you handled it brilliantly. Nobody was jealous of you. You need to let go of whatever guilt you have held on to or clung to since this person passed away. But this message seems to be coming from another person who would have been mourning the loss of the King of Wands. Like they have an understanding of what that person wanted. Yeah. So we have sorrow, grief, loss, depression. And yet there is growth that happens from the situation. There is a sense of unity or compassionate energy between these family members, probably siblings, or like I said, maybe exes, looking out for each other. Let's see. This is the Kipper. Happy Easter to you too, Narnia. I'm sorry you feel that way, Cookie Monster, but I hope you find some delicious cookies today. What else do we have? We have the wealthy man. This could be the person who passed away. could be the person who is coming through and saying something sweet. But there was a period of bad health before someone passed away, and therefore there could be some guilt as to a decision made to visit or not visit, or move away or go on a trip. We have community. This is the family, right? The people who may have opinions on what happened. Yeah. When someone passes away, there's a lot of decisions that end up needing to be made. When is the service? Where is the service? How long will the service be? Who's invited? All of these things, right? And there were some decisions made that someone felt a little bit uncomfortable with, or didn't really know, like, is that what the King of Wands would have wanted? And now they're getting confirmation. Yeah. Why are you being so, like, critical of yourself? Why are you beating yourself up over this? This is totally what the King of Wands would have wanted. So hopefully this mature person who apparently handled things the way they should have can let go of this and focus on other areas of their life. This could be, by releasing this, they could then be able to invest in their relationship and avoid a breakup. Or this could be someone who, by letting go of this guilt, now they're able to find love or love themselves again, right? Hello, John. Hello, Carla. Hello, Drew. How's it going? Let's get some more tarot, shall we? This is the tarot of the cat people. What else do we have? Hello, Priest. How are you doing? This is a general reading. And we've got someone who is letting go of some sadness or guilt pertaining to a death or a loss of a loved one. We have the Sun and Justice in the reverse. So sometimes we just have to remind people that we love that someone who has passed on wouldn't want them to be, you know, like being so mean to themselves in the aftermath of that person passing away, right? Be forgiving towards yourself, that kind of thing. So this Chariot seems to indicate we have a person that's traveling. This could be a sibling who lives at a distance, or this could be someone who is going home to see the family. Maybe for Mother's Day, for example. We've got 8 of Swords in the reverse and the Hanged Man in the reverse. I think we're dealing with someone who's a little bit stubborn, maybe the youngest person in the family, or maybe the person who has a reputation for being a little bit more sensitive. But they feel better after this conversation. They realize they've been overly... It's like I've been obsessed with what could have happened differently, or whether or not I'd made the right choice. Maybe because it was easier to think about those things than to feel the loss itself. The World in the reverse, the Ten of Swords in the reverse, and Queen of Cups. There's friendship and genuine care. It's not the romantic kind. I don't feel it's romantic. This is why I feel it's either exes or people you're related to. But this is like a hug from someone, you know, like you're sitting next to them and they're just like, come here, you're fine. It's gonna be okay. But it really does improve how a person feels about that loss. Hello, Ruben. How you doing? Thank you, Carla. Should I stop communication with Dwight. I've added that for you. Thank you. Hello, Nathan. How are you doing today? Six of Wands in the reverse. Nine of Swords in the reverse. So enough of the failure or whiny or I messed up kind of talk. Maybe we got someone who's just kind of blunt about their communication about this, right? Like, will you just get over yourself? You're not that important. Your decisions didn't have that much influence. This is somebody who was going through issues. They had, you know, documented medical events or whatever. We knew this was going to happen, and they don't want you to be sitting here like lamenting every little detail. They would want you to get on with your life and be happy in some way. Sure, honor their memory, you know, be glad for the things that you had, the times that you had with this person, but don't lose out on the happy times that you can have in your own life because you're holding on to that anger or that like grief, right? Oh, I don't know that I've ever said Drew. I think I've referenced like being in sales. And I think even referenced what I sold. Hello, T. Aw, you too. Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Hello, Jamike. You. Hello, Redbeard. How are you doing? King of Cups in the reverse, Death in the reverse, Knight of Cups in the reverse. You would not have been able to have changed the outcome. You would not have been able to prevent this person from passing away. So do not think about those decisions or how you handled that circumstance negatively or repetitively, because it's not going to do any good. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Moodiness or feeling like withdrawn, maybe not associating with a lot of people. We have a family member who's concerned for them. Like, it's time for you to get back out there, hang out with your friends, meet someone, you know, enjoy the nice weather, get out there and live your life. The King of Wands wouldn't want you to be just hanging out by yourself all the time thinking about this. Three of Wands in the reverse, Six of Swords in the reverse, and Strength. So pull yourself together and let's do something to honor this King of Wands memory and let go of that guilt so that we can start a new chapter. I think they really do a lot for their brother or cousin or mother or whoever it is. It's time. Let's go do something to honor this person, but then we're going to leave this in the past so that you can focus on some new happy memories, right? Hello, Lucy. How are you doing? Thank you, Carla. Let's see. We're going to get a few from the Energy Oracle. Man holding a heart and door to personal healing and happiness. So in this case, I do feel that the heart is not romantic, but more a I care about you, I want you to be happy, more of like that family member type love, right? And then we have that personal healing. I know that you have been upset, or I know that this loss has hit you hard, but let's be honest with ourselves about the fact that you could not have stopped this. And the King of Wands would have done what you want or what you chose anyways. You did the right thing, that kind of thing. So we've got the 1st and the 5th chakra and 2 angels. There's protective energy and wanting to make sure a life isn't wasted. You know, you're still here. You can still have a great life. You can meet someone new if their partner was the one who passed away. Or you can, you know, rejoin that social community and start laughing or enjoying things again. That's what the King of Wands would want, right? They would want you to work on that, grow from the situation, don't be stuck. Dang, that sounds good. Let's go with the Fairy Godmother Oracle. What else do we have? Fickleness and authority. So this aligns with that, oh, I should have done this, or I should have said that, or maybe I called the wrong person, or perhaps I should have invited them. Worried about details. But someone else within the family is saying, no, 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 you had the ability to make those choices. You were the one who was there. You were the one who had power of attorney, or you were the one who knew the details of what had happened, you know, leading up to that knowledge. So you did the best with what you had. Isn't that all we can ask? Hello, successful trillionaire. How you doing? Hello, Izzo. What's up? I'm doing well, thank you. I'm still kind of waking up, Nathan. We've got Sweetheart, Room, and Thief. So the question mark in their head seems to be, maybe it's your head, right? Seems to be, was the fact that I was the first person who was consulted, or the person who was like in the room, the person who lived in town, was my proximity to this responsible for the timing or that person actually passing away? Or if someone else had been around to make that decision, would it have been different? And the family member is like, no, 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 you were doing what you could. You were like acting with good intentions. Nobody's over here questioning that or judging you. Nobody feels like you are deserving of punishment or judgment for that. We have Reunion. I haven't seen you in a while, but I want to make sure that you're okay. There could be a question mark with regards to inheritance as well. Perhaps this individual got a larger inheritance than someone else was expecting. There could be some complications in terms of the estate. Hello, PJ. How's it going? Happy Easter. All right, let's see what we've got for Carla. This is the Tarot of the Nile. Should Carla stop communicating with Dwight? Should Carla stop communicating with Dwight? Yes, the World talks about completion or the end of a chapter. You have the strength that it takes to move forward without needing that communication. And there is an opportunity that you don't realize is waiting for you. That would be a lot easier for you to entertain if you didn't still have a question mark or some sort of like loose connection still in place with Dwight. So I feel like you would be appreciative of having kind of closed that out before you meet this new person, Wheel of Fortune, because you don't want it to look like you were, I don't know, distracted. Yeah, there's someone new coming into your life that you're going to be very excited about, and it's just a little bit easier for you to enjoy that new flirtation if you don't have Dwight still on like the back burner. We have the Empress, the Ace of Cups, and the Four of Wands in the reverse. So if you want real love, then you got to make sure you're walking away from or closing out the cycles where you know it's not going to get to that like serious relationship or that exclusive relationship that you want. I like how you put that. This new person, by the way, this is someone who's younger than you, and this is someone who is very honest. I don't believe you'll have any question marks in your mind as to the new person's integrity or their commitment to being honest with you. It's going to be very obvious to you. All right, I leave it there. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for being awesome. And I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.